Hi there. I'm sitting here at the end of the school year camp of my 11-year-old daughter, whose name is Kyla, and she's been here for 3 days, and I'm here to pick her up. But they're still in classes, and in about 15 minutes, they're gonna do a kind of a celebration, graduation, and a lot of the parents are gonna be here, so I'm looking forward to that. But I thought, as I was sitting here and I just had a couple minutes, I thought I would just share with you a quick thought that I had while I was driving here. And the quick thought is, you know, Nelson Mandela once said, "It always seems impossible until it's done." Think about it. Have you ever had a goal, something that maybe internally you were excited about, and then when it came time to take action, you talked yourself out of that goal? I write about that quite a bit in If You Think You Can. But let me tell you something, over and over and over, when you study high achievers, you realize they all had fear. They all had worry and doubt about the future. In fact, as I was reading a little bit about Nelson Mandela, Richard Stengel, a professional writer who spent 2 years assisting Mandela with his biography, wrote an insightful article in Time magazine titled Mandela, His 8 Lessons of Leadership. In it, he describes how Mandela frequently felt afraid during his long fight against the apartheid and his many years in prison. He said, "Of course I'm afraid. I can't pretend that I'm brave and that I can beat the whole world." But however, you know what? Nelson Mandela was amazing, but he didn't totally eliminate his fear. He acted as if, despite the fear. And so oftentimes we worry about the unknown. We worry about uncertainty. We worry. And most of the things that we worry about never come to pass. That's an amazing thing. They never come to pass. So my suggestion in this quick video is that when you get something excited that you want to go after, even if it's outside your comfort zone that creates some anxiety and some tension, I say ignore the anxiety, ignore the tension, and step right into it. Go after your dreams. Go after your passions. And you know what? More doors will be open to you. I've often shared the story about a man who was playing the piano late one night in a lounge. And a fella came up to him and said, "I am tired of hearing you just pluck on the piano. I want to hear some singing." Well, the gentleman playing the piano looked up and he said, "I don't sing, I only play the piano." And the fella got upset, so he walked over to the bartender, who was the boss, and he said, "Listen, I want to hear some singing in here." And the bartender walked over and said, "Hey, if you don't start singing, then you know what? You're going to be fired and have to go get a new job somewhere else." Well, that night, that young man who was playing the piano began to sing, and no one ever sang the song Sweet Lorraine, like Nat King Cole, who is now a legend. You know what? It was one of the, in that congregation or in that audience was one of the executives from Decca Records Company who heard his voice and immediately wanted to sign him to a label. Unbelievable. Listen, oftentimes we set goals for things that we hope to do, that we want to do, that we're interested in, but then we talk ourselves out of it because of fear. I say step into the fear. That's how you become fearless. Right? Fearless is not going through life without any fears. That's an illusion. That's not realistic. The idea is you have the fear and you take action anyway. That is the power of moving toward where you are to where you ultimately want to be. So it's about time for me to get into this little program that they're going to do. I wish you the best, and may this little reminder, may it be useful for you as you set out in your life to achieve your goals and your dreams. May you unleash your greatness within.